Hey, Crossroads Community Church, Orrville, this is Pastor Josh here, and I am excited to tell you that we are back. We're going to be back here meeting again at Kingsway this coming Sunday morning, May the 31st, 10 a.m. right here, and we can't wait to see you guys, for those of you who are going to come and join us. Now listen, I'm going to say this right up front. Church is not going to look the same when we get back together this Sunday. It's going to be different in a lot of ways. I'm going to tell you a lot about those things. That's what this informational video is for, so that we can make sure that you are informed. We can make sure that you feel comfortable and safe coming to church if you choose to do so. And if you choose not to do so, we want you to know we're going to continue our Facebook Live of the service on Facebook so that you can check it out there. You can still join in with us. You can worship. You can comment on there so that we can be able to see those things. Give us your prayer requests, all that stuff. So lots of things are going to be different though, like I said. First off, we're not going to have Kid City, which means that since we're not having Kid City, we're going to invite the kids to come into the adult worship space with us. We're going to do an awesome service that's going to be planned with them in mind. So for my teaching, I'm going to be teaching to the kids as well as the adults. I'm going to make sure that I throw things in there to make sure that it's relatable for them so that they can learn along with us. For the kids, at the end of the service, we've got something really special planned. It's going to be a lot of fun, and the adults get to join in with it. So don't think adults like, oh yeah, there's going to be some kiddie. It's for you too. So everybody's going to be involved in that. We want everybody to be in the service, to be involved. We've also got some things planned for the kids to help make the service go a little bit smoother for them. Brooke's going to tell you more about that stuff once we get into the worship space in just a second. But there's a lot of other things I need to tell you about too. First off, we're not going to have a cafe on Sunday morning. Since we're not having a cafe, what we want to do is just tell you, bring your coffee, bring your water, bring your juice, whatever it is that wakes you up on a Sunday morning. Bring those things along with you since you can have those to drink. You can bring food if you want to. We don't really care. Bring whatever you want to in, but you have to bring your own. So I would recommend bringing water at least, just in case. Maybe you get a little tickle in the back of your throat. Maybe you just need a sip because you're parched. Bring something with you to drink, and make sure you bring it in with you when you come. A couple other things. We're not going to have a bulletin on Sunday morning. That's different for us. We usually hand you a bulletin when you go into the worship center. We're going to have everything on the app, so please make sure that you download the app if you don't have it already. Use that to take notes. Follow along with the sermon. You can just keep track of everything right there on the app, and so that'll be a great resource for you. Now, I'm saying all this stuff. Well, the reason why we're not having Kid City, why we're not doing the bulletins, why we're not having the cafe, is because we're going to be a no-touch campus when you guys come here. It's going to be social distancing, so we're going to ask people to remain 6 feet apart if they're not in your family. If it's your family, obviously you can be with them, but 6 feet apart for anybody that's not in your family. We're going to encourage you, you're not required to, but we're going to encourage you to wear a mask when you come on Sunday morning. Now, I'm not big on wearing the mask, but I will wear a mask for the sake of helping somebody else to feel comfortable coming into church. That's what I'm asking you to do. I'm asking us all to follow these guidelines, to wear the mask. We're not going to shake hands. We're not going to hug. We're going to do air high fives from 6 feet away. We're going to do some really cool like waves and stuff like that we can do to each other so that we can keep our social distancing. And here's the reason why. I know that we have a lot of different thoughts on this throughout this campus. Some of you, you're like, man, I'm ready to get back to life, ready to hug my friends, ready to high five, ready to shake hands, all that good stuff. Some of you don't even want to come to church because you're kind of worried about being in an environment with a lot of people already. And for no matter where you fall on the spectrum, we just want you to know we're okay with that. But we're going to ask you, for the sake of everybody else, to respect the feelings of everyone else. And so when you come, if there's somebody in here, like again, the thing that I'm going to recommend is this. We're going to tell you that once you're in the campus, you have to abide by the 6-foot rule. You have to abide by people, like respecting people's distance and everything once you're in there throughout the service and stuff like that. You can ask somebody after you leave and you're in the parking lot. You may ask people if you could approach them, but we're going to say that has to be their call. If they say, no, thank you, I'm not comfortable with that, please respect that. That's all we're asking. Once you're outside of these doors, technically we can't control what you do, but we're going to ask you to do that as a favor to us and to respect other people. And listen, here's the whole reason behind this, is because when people come here on Sunday morning, we want to do everything we can to make everyone comfortable so that they have the availability of learning about the gospel, of growing closer to Christ, and developing their relationship with Jesus more than they had already. And so that's the way we do that in this situation, is we respect everyone. We just want to do what's easiest to make everybody comfortable and to make everything go smoothly. So, all right, I'm going to move on. Okay, I got a lot more stuff to cover. As you can see, because we talk about touch-free, right behind me, the doors are all propped open right now, and we propped them open right now for a purpose. Everything's gonna be propped open as you go into the worship center. You won't have to touch a single door. The volunteers aren't gonna be touching a single door for you because they'll already be open. And listen, we live in America, guys. We drive on the right-hand side of the road. That's how you remember which doors you go in and which doors you come out. You always use the doors that are on your right. So when you come into the building, when you go into the worship center, you're gonna use the doors on the right-hand side. When you're coming out, you'll use the ones that are on your right-hand side. So if it's on your left, that's always a no-go, right? We're not in England. Don't drive like that, okay? Let's just stay on our side of the road. So we're gonna go on the right-hand side. So no touch on that one. We're gonna have volunteers. They're gonna be placed all over the place. You're gonna see one out here in the very front of the place when you come in. You're gonna see more guys in the foyer, in the worship center when you go in. So the way you'll know them, they're gonna be wearing bright yellow shirts that say Crossroads on the front, volunteer on the back. They're gonna have a mask on. Most of them will have gloves on as well. So when you come in, you'll see those people. The person out front's gonna greet you. Hey, so glad you're here, welcome. They're gonna kind of remind you about the social distancing thing, just so everybody kind of knows what's going on. Once you go inside, we're gonna find another volunteer at our sanitation station. Brooke's gonna tell you more information about that in just a minute. Actually, I think I'm gonna tell you more information about that because I'm getting things confused. But when we get in there, you'll see that person at the sanitation station. Then when you get to the doors of the worship center, we'll talk about these when we get in there, but there's gonna be ushers that are gonna help you find your seat when you get in there. So again, bright yellow shirts. It's gonna say volunteer on the back. Those will be the people you're looking for. Now, let's go inside. You guys follow me right on into the foyer. Brooke's gonna carry you. Come on. Now, once you get in here in the foyer, you're gonna notice there's gonna be markings on the floor. They're gonna be set 6 feet apart, so you know exactly how far you have to social distance from people when you come in here. Again, we know that some people are more comfortable, some people are not comfortable. We're gonna ask you to respect these markings. So when you come in, as you're moving towards the doors, what we want you to do is keep it moving because we need to get everybody in a timely manner because most people are just gonna come right at the start of service. As a matter of fact, we'll say this, we're not even opening the doors until 10 minutes before service starts for the sake of everybody. So stay in your car, watch the distance coming in, and then once you're in here, let's keep it moving and the ushers are gonna help you find your seats, but watch those markings because they're gonna help you to know just how far to stay back from the person that is right there close to you. Come on over this way a little bit. When we come up here, this is our sanitation station right here. That's what we were talking about. We've got this set up so that you can sanitize your hands if you want to do that, just so everybody feels comfortable in that situation. Someone will be here just in case you need anything. You can mention it to them. They'll be happy to get it. They'll be standing back from the table just a little bit. Now, right over this way, like we said, the water fountain is going to be off limits. We'll have those closed off. But we also have bathrooms right here beside the doors. On that side is the women's bathroom. On the opposite side of the gym is the men's bathroom. Now, the bathrooms will be available to you if you need to use them, but we're asking that you only use the bathrooms out of necessity. So please, go ahead and plan ahead. Go before you come, right? Okay, like that's pretty easy. Like everybody use the bathroom. It's like we're taking a trip somewhere, okay? So again, we're gonna use the bathroom before we go. We'll use the right-hand lanes when we come in, all right? Cool, like it's like we're taking a drive, all right? So we got that down pat. So make sure if you need to sanitize, it's here. If you need to use the restrooms, the other thing that you're gonna notice in the foyer when you come in is like right over towards the doors when you come in, we're gonna have an offering box set up. So again, we're not passing things because we're just not gonna do that. Since we're not passing anything, it's a no-touch service, we're gonna have an offering box that's being made for us. That'll be set out in the foyer, either on your way in or on your way out. If you'd like to put your offering in there, you can do that. It'll have a big slot, so all you have to do is just drop it right into that slot, and then you will be good to go on that one. The other thing that I'll mention is just around the corner, the second door on the left here down the hallway is our K5 room. Now that's where we usually do K5. What we're gonna do for these coming Sundays is we're turning the K5 room into a changing room. So if you have a baby, you come to the service, the baby needs to be changed, we will have a changing station set up in there for you, all the stuff that you need to make sure you get your kid changed comfortably. And we'll ask you that if you need to use a changing space, that's exactly where you will go to do that. So just the second door on the left, right down the hallway. So come on, follow me in towards these doors. As we get closer to the worship space, you're gonna notice there's gonna be an usher standing here at these doors, right inside of the doors. Actually, he's gonna have a little bit of space between him and where you're gonna come in. You're gonna come to that guy. You're gonna tell him how many people you need to have seated with you. Once he has your number, there's gonna be another guy that'll be out in the seats kind of directing people where to go, keeping his distance and stuff, of course, but he's gonna help you find a seat. And the way we're gonna have it set up is everything's gonna be distanced exactly right in here. We'll have chairs set up so that it'll be 2 chairs together for couples to sit in. There's gonna be a chair, like 3 chairs together if there's a family of 3 that has an older kid, 4 chairs if you got the family of 4. Obviously, you guys can see where I'm going with this, but we're also gonna have tables set up for families that are families with younger kids. So this is specifically designed so that we can help kind of keep those kids in the space with your family and to help keep them busy during the service. Brooke is going to tell you a little bit more about how we're going to do that once we get to that point in just a second. So we want you to remember, when you come in, talk to the ushers. They're gonna send you, they'll show you where to sit at, so make sure you obey what those guys are saying. And again, the seating will be properly spaced out, at least 6 feet between all the seats and stuff like that, between the groups of seating, and at least 10 feet between the tables when we set those up as well. So we want you to make sure you kind of abide by that. So we're gonna come right in, right over to this area, and then Brooke is actually gonna take over, and she's gonna begin to show you some things that we've got set up. So the big thing she's gonna talk about is gonna be your signage deals. She's gonna talk to you about what she's gonna do for the kids area, and then she's gonna talk about just a couple other things that she has to cover with you. And then I'm gonna take back over for the very last bit of what we have to say today. So Brooke, come on over here. I'll take over on the backside.
All right. So this is a lot of information, so I'm gonna go over this just super quick. Just so you guys know, like he said, our volunteers will be wearing those bright yellow shirts. You're not gonna miss them. It says volunteer on the back. They will also be wearing gloves, and they will also be wearing masks. Again, with the mask thing, obviously it's not something that is required, but we do recommend you wearing them. We will be wearing them. I will be wearing one as well. Obviously, when I'm not leading worship, because that would just be really weird and really hard to worship like that. So you guys are aware, there will be signage pretty much everywhere. Josh has talked about a lot of things that might be a little bit, you know, we forget when we walk in the door. So we're gonna have signs that say, you know, 6 feet, please use social distancing. We have the CDC's required signs that will be posted. We have our enter and exit signs, just to remind you guys of which side is enter, which side is exit only. And then we also have our please do not use the drinking fountain signs, just as a reminder again. Family friendly area. What Josh was talking about is having those tables. They'll probably be spaced out all over this gym. But at those tables, we're gonna ask that if you have a family with younger kids, that we allow them to sit there first. Once we get started, if there are tables open and you want to sit at a table instead of a chair, that is fine as well. But at those tables, what we're gonna do to make it a little bit easier for the kids to be in the worship service with us, we have come up with some really, really cool ideas. So we're come over here, I'm gonna show you what we're gonna have at the tables. So at the tables, we are going to have coloring pages and crayons. All right, now these are gonna be pre-made and already on the tables. So they have not been touched in at least 24 hours. They'll be set. That way you guys will know that, you know, germs have not been on them. And if they have been touched before, they've been touched with gloves, okay? All right, we also have these coloring pages and little activity pages for the kids, the younger kids. And then we have these. I wanna show you guys these. These are going to be for the older kids. So the kids that can write by themselves. So we'll say like 2nd grade and up. So our K-5, what we're doing is they have these sermon notes for the kids. They have questions on here like my favorite song was, something I want to remember. So this is going to be something they're going to fill out. And then at the end of the service, we are going to have a table in the back. So at that table, we are asking that if your child fills out one of these pages or they do one of the coloring or activity pages, that they bring that page back to the table, and at that table they are going to get a prize from a K-5 leader. So it's just a little something to keep them engaged with something to do during the service and something that's fun, and hopefully they'll really learn something from the adult worship service. And we think it's a really cool idea that we're doing this family service. We haven't done one here before, and we are super excited about it, especially our K-5 leaders. Very, very cool. So on that note, I'm gonna hand it back over to Josh and hope you guys are having a great night.
All right, hey everybody. last couple of things really quickly, okay? First off, we talked about the seating thing, talked about the reasons why we're doing things the way we're doing it in the worship space with the tables and the seating stuff. The way this becomes important at the end of the service is that we're going to dismiss you from your seating group at the end of the service. So please, when the service is over with, when we kind of finish out, we'll remind you, but don't just get up and rush for the door, because again, we're trying to keep the social distancing thing in place. So when we end the service, we'll have the same ushers that sat you will come out and begin to release you one section at a time to let you guys go out to the parking lot. Now, like I told you a while ago, once you're in the parking lot, technically you're out of our jurisdiction, right? I personally will not be tasing anybody when you're inside, but I might get Jason to do it if you start breaking the rules, right? No, I'm just kidding. We're not going to do that. But we will dismiss you once you're in the parking lot. Again, I ask you just to respect others. If you would like to go up to approach somebody to have a conversation once you're out there and stuff, please ask them first from a safe distance if they're comfortable with that. As long as they give you permission, then we're okay. Like, again, we just want to respect everybody. We want everybody to feel safe and happy being here in this environment to come and learn and worship with us. Now, the last thing I'm talking about, if you are sick or you are nervous about coming to church on Sunday morning, we just want to say this: stay home. It is okay. We promise you it's not going to bother us if you stay home. If we find out that you stayed home for whatever reason, especially if you're sick, we want you to stay home just for the safety of other people. If you're nervous about coming to church, like you just don't feel comfortable about it, and you think it's going to cause you anxiety, it's going to cause you something else that's going to bother you once you get into this space, then please just stay home. That's okay. We really do support that. We really do want you just to watch on Facebook, to worship along with us. And please comment on there and let us know that you were there so we can go back and see it later after the service is over with and stuff. So just wanted to cover that. Final thing, again, the Kid City stream. They're going to move the Kid City stream to Wednesday night. Okay, so that's a big one. So they've been doing the Kid City streams on Sunday mornings. At like 11:30 I think is when it started. So they've been doing the Kid City stream at 10:30, excuse me. They've been doing it at 10:30. They're going to move that to Wednesday nights now. So that's when you can look for the Kid City thing. We want you and your kids to tune into that and make sure that your kids are learning and growing together as well. So I think Brooke is motioning that she's got one more thing to say. So I'm going to step out of the way real quick, let her do her thing, and then I'll close this out.
Yes, the last thing I wanted to say about the kids stuff, we are also adding in, so yes, they will have their Kid City lesson on Wednesday night, but also our K-5 volunteers have volunteered to do a Zoom meeting with their small groups throughout, as long as we need to, as long as we can't meet together in their rooms. They're going to be doing that on Thursday nights. So the small group leader will get in touch with you as the parent or let you know on Sunday morning what time that's going to look like, and they'll be able to send out like the invitation for the Zoom meeting for you to get your kid on there. And with that, we just really want to encourage that this is an exciting time. It's something different, and when something's different, it's exciting. And honestly, we're very excited about it. So.
And we can't wait to see you guys here on Sunday morning. That was really cheesy, I know. Listen, you guys, Sunday morning, 10 o'clock, right here at Kingsway. Make sure you come out and join us. We would love to have you here, or join us on Facebook Live. We can't wait to see you guys. Have a great week.